Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
And I'm Chris.
Today we'll be talking about The Traitors, Season 4, Episode 11.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hype the video. You know what? Go subscribe to the Oprah podcast because that's the only ad I keep seeing on YouTube. I mean, every time I'm hearing Oprah voice or I'm hearing somebody accusing Oprah, go watch that, please, because that's what YouTube want us to do. Okay? Listen, guys, this is the finale of The Traitors. It's been a great season, and guess what? We are at the last episode. We are going to do the reunion episode in a separate episode, and I just wanted to let y'all know I do not want to yell this episode. I do not want to go against you this episode. I don't want to go against y'all this episode. So already, I need y'all to write in the comments right now, Chris, you was right all along.
Okay.
That's the only way I'm not yelling. Just admit, Chris, you was right all along. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this episode, please.
Mark was murdered.
Oh, man. I thought he was Steven.
We get to breakfast. Rhop says that they need to banish Johnny, then Tara. Maura is his queen chess piece. Then he and Eric will win the game.
Yes.
Rob is saying either he or Mark would have died. He was scared last night. We learned the prize pot is at $180K. And after tonight's round table, no one's true identity will be revealed at the round table.
Yeah. At this point, did you ever believe, this is a funny question, that Eric was going to win with Rob if they was to win together?
Yes, I did.
Really?
I thought that they would. I thought that Rob had made it clear that he was willing to work with Eric to the end, unless he had to sacrifice Eric for the name of the game. But if he wouldn't have had to sacrifice Eric, then I felt like he would have won with him.
Oh, and you believe that because he never betrayed any of his teammates before, right?
I felt like the sacrifices that were made before were made in the best interest of him going the long game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So integrity don't matter. Let's keep going.
Johnny knows Eric and Rob are the remaining traitors.
Okay, Johnny.
He can't stop thinking about Candiance leaving them a breadcrumb when she left. Johnny fills Tara in on his thoughts, and Tara and Johnny's plan is to pull Maura away from the other side.
Now, here's the thing about it, Johnny. You over here actually figuring out the mystery, but guess what? It's only about 5 of y'all left, and and the thing about it is, it's not that the fact that he got it right about it being Eric and Rob, because eventually it was going to be somebody, right? But it's the funny part that, hey, you never thought that your friend Tara would be a traitor. And I understand that they're close and they have a good friendship, maybe good, you get what I'm saying? I think they're a little too close, but that's just my opinion, right? But I just find it very interesting that, oh, now you solved the mystery, but guess what? You have spent no time building relationships except for the one that you got next to you, and now you're outnumbered. Let's keep going.
So I did think to myself, you guys will never be able to pull Maura to your side.
No.
Maura cannot fathom Rob would lie to her.
Exactly. The same way as they can't fathom that they will lie to each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Rob and Eric are saying the traitors are both Johnny and Tara. They are telling Maura this. So Tara tells Maura Eric is a traitor. He never says a name. Maura isn't too sure about that, but she also doesn't want to tink too much.
Now, here's the thing about it. I don't think she tinked a lot at all throughout this whole season. Here's the thing about integrity, because I'm gonna talk about integrity when it comes to this game right here, right? Or even life. Let people learn a life lesson, right? Integrity is like insurance, right? Meaning that, yes, it could be a scam. Some people get ahead and basically, without integrity, but guess what? You never know when you're going to need it, right? When it comes to integrity. And I want to talk about Tara, right? Why would, if I was Maura, listen to anything Tara have to say when I literally just seen you blitz, as Natalie would describe it, her?
Exactly. Like, Tara, you're never to be trusted.
No.
And we can both stare into each other's eyes and lie all day.
And pretty much, right? So now when it's time to cash in on that integrity, right? Because everybody can say insurance is a scam until it's time that you need insurance. You get what I'm saying? You paying monthly. I'm like, I don't have to be paying this much for insurance until you actually need it. And guess what? She has no integrity in the house unless it's Johnny, right? Yeah. Because now, guess what? That vote, or basically that whole white woman crying like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to do this move that you did to Natalie," is biting you in the behind, because now you're trying to pull people away from their own alliance. Besides, actually, guess what? If you would have got Rob out, it would have been easy to get Eric out.
Yeah.
But now, guess what? Now it's just you and Johnny.
We get to the mission.
Yes.
Maura and Rhop are going to go in the helicopter together. Rhop doesn't want people in Maura's ear telling her crazy stuff. I
ain't gonna hold you. That was actually a good strategic play on Rhop part.
Tara asks Eric if he has suspicions of Rhop and Maura, and Eric says he's not too sure about Maura. Maura tells Rhop, Eric thinks we're stupid, but we know he's a traitor.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, they are playing into Rob's hand. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. Because Tara was afraid to take the shot at the round table, then she got butthurt at Natalie and wrote Natalie's name down, was stupid for her game.
Yes.
And also for Maura to be focusing on Eric when she's looking dead in the face of a traitor, and multiple people have told her Rhop is a traitor. They are literally just handing him this money.
And that's the thing about it, right? It's a lot of, it's almost as if the faithfuls is expecting someone else to do their work, except for the work.
They need someone to tink for them.
No. They don't need nobody to tank for them, right?
That's what Maura needs.
Because they are expecting someone else to do their work, not even realizing they are supposed to do their own work.
Yes.
So automatically, y'all said inside, talking about Johnny and Tara, y'all said inside that, hey, we need to pull Maura away from basically that alliance from Rhop, from Eric, right? Maura was so excited to go in the helicopter. So by her being excited to go in the helicopter, guess what? Tara or Johnny should have been in the helicopter.
Exactly. But they said, no, you guys go ahead.
So
no thought, no strategy.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like, it's like I said, even though you heard me, you are evidence that I gave Rhop credit that, hey, guess what? That was a good strategy or a good gameplay by him to basically, hey, I'm getting in that helicopter. He got his arm around there and things like that. He's saying sweet nothings in her ear because guess what? She ain't tanking for herself and things of that nature. But at the same time, it's almost as if the faithfuls, as much credit I want to give Rhop, it's like y'all not even really doing the work. It's like y'all just basically, to your point, handing it to Rhop. So, but because that's the thing about it. They don't want to win. Talk about Johnny and Tara. They want to win together.
Yeah.
They want to win holding hands. They want to win scratching each other back and things of that nature. I understand best friends can be best friends, but at the end of the day, they didn't want to be split up. And how you don't want to be split up, but you want to split somebody else up? Let's keep going.
So we get to the mission. They have to unlock $20,000.
Oh, yeah.
The group on the ground is racing down the river to where the pontoons are. Chests are sealed with a question about a departed player. They have to answer the question correctly.
Yeah.
So Rhop and Maura have the key cards, and they have to tie it to a float and drop it. Each float has a different dollar amount. So if you're confident, you can put down a float with a higher dollar amount.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into the questions, but they end up getting the first $20K. They have the chance to double their money, and for this chance, Rhop or someone has to jump out of the helicopter into the water to grab the key cards on the floaties and run it up to the ground. So Rhop ends up doing it, and they won $40K for the prize pot, and the prize pot is now at $220,800.
Listen here, as excited as I would have been to be in the helicopter, the minute that they say, somebody got to jump out to double the pot, I would have been like, 20,000 is enough. Because guess what? If I would have had to jump in that water, it would have been a different show.
And it looked so cold. They were freezing, and it was raining.
It would have been a very different show. Like, I'm talking about sad singing, flower bringing. If I had to jump in that water, like, where's Chris?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Chris is not with us no more because he jumped in the water. So, look, I think this was a perfect mission for Rhop and things like that, because he jumped in, he swam, he ran, and it made everybody. That's the thing about it. The thing I have a problem with this season of the Traitors is that the Traitors were the best faithfuls too. Candiance was the best faithful.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rhop is being the best faithful and things of that nature. It seemed like the faithfuls, but outside of them two, want credit for work that they didn't do.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, this season was so disappointing to me.
Yeah, but I really think this challenge solidified Rhop as a hero.
Oh,
so
100%.
Even though Johnny and Tara were still after him as being a traitor, I mean, he just is gaining favor upon favor.
Of course, he out there swimming, he's jumping out of helicopters, he's running with one shoe on and things like that. It just seems like, look at the Look at how far he will go for us. Yeah, I know your plan, Rhop.
Rhop is still pushing for Maura to vote Johnny, and she is thinking Eric.
Okay.
Tara pulls Maura to the side. They are on the same page about banishing Eric, and they agree to never vote for each other.
Yeah.
Just lying to each other.
I'm about to say, just lying, 100%. Just lying.
So Maura tells Eric she's never coming for him. Rhop can tell that Maura's lying, and now he's nervous because this is how she sounds when she tells him she wants to go to the end with him.
No, she just sound this way, Rhop, okay? She just sound this way.
All right, now we're at the final round table.
Here we go.
Eric talks about how he's been lost the whole game. There's the 2 Love Island people, 2 ice skaters, and he's leaning towards voting for either Tara or Johnny. Rhop thought it was odd that they started showing how close they were, and Johnny says that they did play a cold game with each other at first because they didn't want the target to be on them as a duo, which Maura can get behind. Johnny thinks there are 2 traitors left. He knows for a fact it's not Tara. He doesn't sense Maura as a traitor, but he thinks Eric's game has been opaque.
Okay.
He's quiet about his gameplay, and Tara said that he's too much under the radar and he's quick to jump on other people when it's thrown out there that they're traitors. Eric had people he trusted, and he lets them know, I may not have came to y'all, but I went to the people I trusted with my thoughts. Tara says Eric threw out Maura's name, and Eric agrees he had multiple people on his list.
Okay.
Rhop says, wouldn't it be interesting if Alan picked one of you, you had to keep her secret from your best friend, and if you did recruit, of course you would pick each other.
Now, what is your thoughts on that? On just this whole going back and forth? At any point, did you think Eric or Rhop was in danger?
I thought Eric was in danger. I also felt like Eric, I wouldn't have agreed to saying I threw out Maura's name because he didn't throw out Maura's name in this episode.
Yeah.
So if I haven't done it recently with any decent facts, or basically if you ain't got no receipts on me, then I didn't do it.
Yeah.
There's no way you can prove it.
No face, no case.
Exactly. So I think Eric should have been like, I never brought up Maura's name. That's odd you would say that. And I say, let's rewind to the last round table to where you threw Natalie under the bus. That's odd, Tara. I'm just like, Eric had a lot more ammo he could have used, but clearly he's lost, like he says.
Listen here, man. Eric, ever since they told him that he rather be a traitor or he gotta leave, he's been speaking in broken sentences ever since. You get what I'm saying? He's sweating. He obviously is not a good traitor in the sense of being able to operate the same as if he was moving before.
Right,
you get what I'm saying? We can see that from the time he was a faithful with all that pride and all that fake confidence he had, that's completely gone. Now he's literally hanging on by a thread. You get what I'm saying? Here's the problem with Johnny and Tara, right? Throughout this whole season, y'all was just focused on tickling each other. Now you're talking about Eric hey, Eric, you used to be someone that used to, be confident and throw names out, and now you ain't saying anything. Johnny, you ain't say nothing throughout this whole episode, throughout this whole season. And Tara, you just kept going at Natalie literally at every round table. So my thing about it is, okay, you over here criticizing Eric for the work that he didn't do. Show me the work that y'all done. Because truth be told, y'all just wanted to be basically a duo, not even realizing that, hold on, maybe we need to include somebody in this, or include people, or join someone's alliance. Because at the end of the day, guess what? We're outnumbered. And now, on top of that, we have no influence. And then on top of that, we kind of did this big reveal that, hey, we're best friends, and we know for a fact we're not traitors. So that's why I'm like, even though you could be saying the right things and have the right answer, y'all haven't shown y'all work throughout this whole season. Yeah. So by y'all not showing y'all work, everything you saying don't matter at this point.
Yeah, and I do think Rhop throwing out there the theory of it would be interesting to watch the best friends end up becoming the traitor recruiting another. That would be an interesting angle, and I feel like that was a good seed to drop. I would say at the end, of the season, he necessarily didn't have to do it because he already had the favor of the numbers on his side. But I did feel like that was a good thing to throw out. Okay. Yeah. Now we get to the vote. Maura is the split vote between Eric and Johnny. She votes for Johnny. Johnny is banished, and of course, he can't reveal his true identity.
At this point, I was like, Rhop won. Because now it's a numbers game. Yeah. It's a numbers game. Yep.
Yeah. So next, they're going to meet at the Fire of Truth. And at that time, they'll have to either banish again or end the game. Rhop tells Maura that we can't waste any more time. We have to go for Tara. And Tara asks Rhop to promise that they'll go for Eric. And he just nods yes.
Dude, you actually know what's funny? I think, is this where they did the little pinky promise? Or basically,
I think so.
The funny thing about after this round table, after Tara's best friend was banished, you see basically them three, Eric, Maura, and Rod, walking one way, and Tara just basically walking. I was
like, dead woman walking.
She walking by herself and things of that nature. She ain't got nobody to tickle. She ain't got nobody to hold hands with. And she knows in that moment that, guess what? You haven't built you have no integrity.
Yeah.
You have now it's time to cash in. Now it's time to put a claim in. Hey guys, I'm someone who played an honest game. No, you didn't. No, you didn't just by last episode. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So Eric and Rob make an agreement to get Tara out. Then they will end the game. Tara tells Maura she thinks Rob and Eric are traitors. And Maura says she can't see it being Rob.
The same way as you can't see it being Johnny.
Right.
So now what?
We get to the fire pit.
Fire pit of truth.
Tara's banished.
Yes, she is.
We move on to see if we're going to continue or not. Eric's bag is green. Maura's bag is red. And Rob's bag is red.
Now, when you saw red in the beginning of the episode, you said, hey, I believe that he was going to take Eric all the way. And now that you saw that his bag was red, his fire was red, what was your thoughts?
I thought this was unnecessary. This was unnecessary. This was selfish, out for self type of move to get the whole pot. Eric's a stranger. I'm not too mad about it. But at the same time, no one could really know where Rob stood. Only Rob knew where he stood. And I feel like Eric played himself for putting his trust in Rob. Now, I think that you can think that, okay, we're on the same page, we're playing together, but you should always be aware that someone could turn on you at any point. And Eric had no awareness at all.
I like I like the word you used there, Blair. Okay. Wife. You said it was unnecessary.
Yes.
Right? And it was surprising to you because you was like, oh my goodness, his flame is red. Why would he do that? Because he did it before. The moves he did before when it came to Lisa was unnecessary. The move that he did with Candiance was unnecessary.
Debatable.
Don't debate with me, right? The moves he did with Eric here was unnecessary because he knew automatically he had Maura. I understand he's playing it up for the camera and the whole season. I don't know what Maura's going to do. He knew throughout this whole season and things of that nature, Maura was basically his best chess piece, right? His best dummy. Because we all know if you make it to the end as a faithful on this show, that means you are not a threat. You are a dummy. You don't see it coming, right? So Maura is basically the perfect cover-up to actually have in the game. In this moment, I already knew from the top, Eric was not going to be part of the winner circle. If Rob was going to win, Rob was going to win alone, right? If they was going to lose, it would probably be because of Eric. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, oh, the fact that it's y'all three, and he already know that Maura's never going to turn on him. Eric, you're out of here. Because I seen it with Candiance and I see him do it to Lisa. Let's keep going.
Eric tells Maura she's incredibly wrong and she needs to consider why she's never questioned this other person in the game. Eric votes for Rob. Eric is banished.
Of course.
Maura then reveals that she's a faithful. Rob reveals that he is a traitor.
Stop right there. Y'all have to see this scene. Right? If you didn't see this scene, if you haven't watched this show and only listened to our review, just go online and watch this scene.
And
right?
whether you're a Rob fan or not, it is so satisfying watching Maura's face crack. It was so satisfying.
It was amazing. Number one, starting with Eric, right? With Eric, he felt so betrayed. He couldn't talk. He couldn't talk at all. And then he kind of went the Candiance route. Of basically like, hey, it's Rob. And basically just walk off, right? Now we're at the end. She's over there basically saying, I am a faithful, and she is 100% confident in her whole posture and her whole aura that Rob wouldn't lie to her, because this is not a show called The Traitors and things like that, and that her and Rob has been a tandem, and they have basically been the group that basically made it to the end, and they defeated all of the traitors. Not only did Rob say he was a traitor, he said, I always been a traitor. I wasn't recruited. I've been a traitor from the beginning. And she's literally there heartbroken because $220,000 plus is not going to be split between them two. Whew. That was cinema. I ain't gonna hold you.
And she tells him, you will never have a girlfriend because you're too good of a liar. But she really doesn't have any hard feelings. She would have done the same.
No, you wouldn't have done the same. You want to be able to execute it.
And I would say that, yeah, Maura is on a different show than everybody else.
Yeah, she is.
Because why are we worried about him having a girlfriend? I guess you need to go back to Love Island. And as we're doing the post-show interview, they were asking him about if he would be willing to split the money with Maura because he feels so bad. And he was like, would you split money with somebody you met 3 weeks ago?
Exactly. I 100% agree with Rob. I think, guess what? This last scene kind of put the cherry on top of what I've been saying this whole time, is that this has been the dumbest bunch of faithfuls. What is your last thoughts on this season and overall this episode of The Traitors before I go deeper?
I was thoroughly entertained. All I asked for my TV is to entertain me. I do think that Rob had many advantages in the show, and I'm not going to lie and say that him being white, him being a good-looking man, him having the quiet demeanor, all of those things worked in his favor. Yes. I also think that he had strategic moments, and he also played a decent social game, but I think the social currency was bought with his appearance. So I think that all of those things can be true at once. Is it fair? No, but it's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, and based on everything that you've seen this episode, is Rob still the best traitor that you've seen in this series?
No, he's not, and I never thought he was. I thought Sari was the best, but I felt like Rob was good in his season for the way that he maneuvered with these people. So yeah. So
still team gameplay for you.
Team gameplay.
Okay. Let me over here destroy team gameplay one last time before we get into the reunion. This was the perfect cherry on top for this season, in my opinion, about everything that I've been saying about Rob, everything I've been saying about the faithfuls to you all and things of that nature, to my wife. Here's the thing about it, right? Mara was there, and she was so disappointed that Rob was a traitor, to the point where she was like, I'm so dumb, I'm dumb. And Rob was like, no, you're not dumb. And I was like, yes, you are dumb. That's the whole point that I've been trying to say, is that we cannot really respect or even have value in the strategic moves that Rob was doing, because he was playing against basically people who didn't have the ability to even see it, to even basically see the breadcrumbs. It's almost like me saying, hey, Blair, I played a basketball game today and I scored 50 points, right? And then you'll be like, oh my goodness, you're so good at basketball. And I say, yeah, everybody else was in wheelchairs though. And you'll be like, okay, that's kind of like, we got to put a little star next to your 50. It's not a real 50 because you wasn't playing against people who had the same ability as you. They did not have brains. The faithfuls on this season and things of that nature did not have brains to be able to execute any plan. They did not do anything that a faithful do. The best faithful this season was Rob, and he's a traitor. The second best faithful this season was Candiance, and she was a traitor. So many times throughout the season, as I was saying, the traitors was doing the job of the faithfuls until Rob turned his back on his own team and got them out. If Rob did not get them out, I don't think they would have got them out, in my opinion. But guess what? We got a reunion to review, and I think I will be vindicated. Okay. In the reunion, because I got a lot to say about the reunion. Anything else on this season?
That's all I got.
I need to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hype the video. We see y'all.
Bye.